All right. Greetings, greetings, peace and blessings. Let's do a mic check first, please. Let us know if we are audible. Thumbs up, peace sign, anything.
Let's see, we got Kenneth Frederick says hello. Echo Bella says good morning and blessings. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, let us know if we're audible, please.
He says sound good.
All right. Greetings, peace and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, the residential tourists, 85 to Africa, living here in the after. And welcome once again. I am one half of your host, Lamont Muhammad. This is my beautiful, wonderful, illustrious, fantastic, phenomenal, all of that wife,
Oh,
Adilah Muhammad.
I was confused. I was like, what's he talking about?
I'm the other half. She's the better half.
We actually got Black Acres of the Gambia on today.
Okay, that's good stuff.
That's
That's
good.
stuff.
We need you guys.
Yeah,
we need
that's
to get
good
through this
stuff.
topic.
For sure. So thank you very much for tuning in. We are always grateful, humbly grateful for your viewership. And we thank you to subscribers. We thank you for your subscription and our members. And we thank you for just your encouragement every week, all the time, ongoing, nonstop. That keeps us going. That fuels us. All right. So here we go.
We apologize for the noise, y'all. I don't know, we slow motion today. We've been really researching this subject all morning, all last night, talking to people over in the Gambia. So I kind of lost track of time. So we haven't even eaten dinner. The children haven't eaten, so the doorbell was going because we had to order food. But we do want to do a recap. Well, there's nothing to recap. We really want to dive into this subject.
But let's give thanks to those who's on there. Who's on now?
Oh, so we got everyone's on. I guess this is a hot topic that we really just didn't even know about really too much until people started sending us emails and video clips. And we got an alarming phone message last night, and we were like, we better get on it.
Yeah.
So we got Kenneth Fredericks on, Ecobella, Gola Jack says salam.
One day.
Huh? I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Willie's Bears, hello RT, love from Kenya as always, losing our lives in Africa. I find that title misleading. You have to be more specific.
Oh, come on now.
It's misleading, but it's in Africa. It's just one of the countries in Africa.
It's not misleading.
Yeah.
You know, we know. But thank you.
And when you're dealing with YouTube world, you have to say specific things.
Right. No, let the girls get it.
But they don't know how to push that button. Specific things to get attention. Right there. I'm sorry, y'all. We just,
right.
Our recap was we finally moved into our apartment.
We're lifing. This is lifing.
It's lifing, and it's an amazing apartment, and it has all these little smart gadgets that we're trying to figure out how to use. Black Acres of the Gambia, and they're here. I'm excited about that. Liz says you're in there. Aquarius Gold. What it do, y'all? Cheryl, I mean, it's a lot of people on
It's
today.
good. I'm glad. I'm happy.
We
I'm
got
glad.
someone from Rhonda. Of course, we got Natasha on there.
Salam alaikum.
Oh, Stillwater says, I finally got your live from the beginning.
Okay.
We got people from Georgia, of course. So one day said salam. Hopefully I got everyone.
Salam.
Karima Moon says everything's all good.
Cheryl, oh, no, Cheryl. Okay.
Yeah, well, Cheryl didn't get on yet, but I see one of her other, whatever. And Anna Harris, watching from California, and Edwina Ware.
Wow, Cali, it's like 6 o'clock.
But she said hello from Bankhead, Nemo, in the ATL.
Bankhead. What it do?
So that's our recap. We moved into our apartment. We love it. Kenya is still amazing. Nairobi is mind-blowing. We've been preparing all week for our event next month. Now we know even more why it's so important for us to have this event next month, because stuff like what we have to talk about right now should not exist in our community, no matter where we are on the continent. So it puts it even more energy on this expat event that we're throwing. We don't even have like a name for it yet. We have the flyer made up.
We do have a name for it.
Oh, tell me the name again.
Listen.
Okay.
Healing, hope,
yes,
and happiness.
Happiness.
And it's all intertwines with the space that we will have this event, if you will, or affair, I should say.
Please put the white meat
And
across.
it definitely, when you come and you're there, you will completely understand.
You will understand.
But it also reflects, I would like to think, we would like to think it reflects our journey, not just us, I mean, the diaspora journey to the continent, to Africa. You know, it's a traumatic experience living in America, we all know. And we've been, one way, shape, form or another, there's been a level of traumatization that existed, whether be it in the past, generationally, or in your direct, immediate life. So a healing is definitely necessary, as well as
Did you hear me say?
the hope. She's doing the mom thing, so.
Or just forget it until we're done.
The hope, you know, that we are looking for to be able to exist and live in a space where we can just be who we are, be ourselves. And then, of course, the pursuit of happiness is never ending, you know. So healing, hope, and happiness, okay? Healing, hope, and happiness is the theme. And we're excited, we're looking forward to it, and take it away.
But besides that part, the healing part, the happiness part, what is targeted towards is building relationships, building a network, building a security for expats here in Kenya. We might have some people coming over from Uganda. We might have someone coming over from the Gambia. But building a network of expats, let's just say on the continent, because we're the only ones that's going to be fighting for us. If we don't build that security within us, no one's going to care. You're not unique to anybody on the continent. You're not this new tribe. You're not this, no, the concern, even the embassies, that's their job. We have to be concerned about us. We have to fight for us. We have to establish relationships amongst us and stop that mindset that we have in the States, where it's all about us. We got to get mine. That's it. No, we're not going to be able to survive unless we unify, period. We have to come with that kind of mindset. So hearing about this situation, and even though we're talking about the Gambia, this isn't brand new. There's been other occurrences that happened in Ghana, that's happened even, I think even here in Kenya, where an expat, even in Rwanda, where an expat has passed away. But this is unique because it's now we got some sisters that they don't look like they just naturally passed away.
Foul play, I smell fish.
Foul play.
Smell it.
It's foul play. And the problem is, and what I got upset about was, I'm like, okay, I don't want to just take YouTubers' point of views and what they got or what they're thinking about. I wanted to go look it up. So I'm going on Al Jazeera News, nowhere to be found. I'm looking up CNN because that's where we normally get our facts from, the actual news reporting before we start watching, well, not before, but with us watching YouTube. Nothing on CNN News, nothing on New York Times. Even when I go to the Gambian news, I might not have been looking at the right thing, but I only found the last situation reported with the Gambian news. So it's very alarming that nobody's even taking a concern about what's happening to the diaspora when they hit the continent. Like, are we just totally?
So that's what drives the question, because we know that we experience a lack of appreciation and value of Black life in America, and this is not just America. This is also UK, who's been affected as well, as far as among these particular sisters who unfortunately lives have been lost or taken away, depending on how you look at it, right? So the question, the value, what is the value of a Black life? I'm talking about Black from within the diaspora, you understand, to the degree that, now here, let paint the picture real clear. I guarantee you, if this was 6 white women, I'm gonna just speak it plain. If this was 6 white women who were in the Gambia or anywhere in Africa or anywhere for that matter, I guarantee you it would be international news.
Or if it's a place that the West have an investment in, like the DR, the Dominican Republic, they want that territory so bad for their tourist dollars that they made situations where actual poisoning from bad liquor from tourists.
Right. Let me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I gotta address this last comment here. Listen, that's not the case. Let me put it up. Let me put it up here. Okay.
Ooh.
This is not the case, okay, of these particular situations that have occurred, right? And that's first and foremost to make it clear. These ladies were professional business owners,
mature 55 to 65.
Right. Okay. Secondly, it don't matter. Even if they were, they still belong to
like
us.
They do in America. This must be a Mazungu.
I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't know, but I don't.
It got to be a Mazungu.
So
no
doesn't,
Black man or Black woman that is awoke and on this channel is saying, "You about to make me cuss."
So it really doesn't. That's not the point. Okay, that's not the point. But to make it clear, no, that's not what was going down. These individuals were activists. They were active in the community. They were investing in the community. These were individuals who had a sincere vested interest in the diaspora community evolving, as well as our brothers and sisters there in Gambia. Okay, so actually, I had to hit that real quick. So
thanks, because now you got me.
No, we're gonna.
I'm real mad right now. Where's Brother Andre? Let him handle you. Or Natasha, where you at? Or Sister Cheryl?
It's okay. We're not gonna go there.
I know y'all gonna handle all of that.
We're not gonna go there.
Because that's just trifling. So even if they were out there horned, they deserve to die.
We're not gonna focus on it. We just want to address it to make it clear that that's not the case. That's not the case at all.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on, because people are like, "What are y'all talking about?"
Right, because you just dove right in.
I couldn't. I've been sitting on this all day, like
no foundation. So listen, 6 Black women from America and the UK. All right, this has been over a course of, I think,
they say 2 years, but 5 of them in the last 6 months.
Right. So this has been going on. This has been happening. Individuals of African American or British American, I don't know how you would label that, that have lost their lives, right, in the Gambia. And it's becoming where it's questionable, very questionable. Even if it was something of a natural nature, the fact that on 2 fronts, the fact that there has been no reporting of it, and really first and foremost because that there was not any rally among the diasporan community to aid and assist. The Gambia is it's like this. It's this small. It's not even a big country.
Mm-mm.
So the circle or the circle of black expats there, I'm sure, somewhere they've either crossed paths or frequented places, maybe not at the same time, but at a place or places all the same. And so the rally of assistance and aid, the mere fact that here's an individual who is 9,000 miles away from their family and friends, and their life is no longer. So where's the body? Who deals? How do we report that? Who do we tell?
It's so much to tap into.
It's so
with
much.
this. It's so much. So they want to know what happened to the woman. So there's 6 women, and maybe you want to name them in particular, all between the ages of 55 to 65. Now these women are.
Thank you, Knowledge One. Thank you for that. Okay.
These women come with degrees, with money. They come with purpose. They're coming to try to make it better. They're coming with the hopes of building, to give back. They're not coming to take away from the country. They're coming to add to the development and the benefit of the country. These women came. These are real. These are spiritual women. Women that are on a spiritual journey, that felt like they were led from a higher cause to come there. They brought their expertise, they brought their finances. None of these women that in what I've been watching, 2 of them are on YouTubers or were YouTubers, very peaceful, beautiful, shalom type of women. That they're that women that is coming with a different type of energy. So no, these were not women that y'all see that went to. Now there's another type of women that go to the Gambia, and all you hear about them is Mazunkos coming to get Gambian men, having fun, marrying them, supporting them financially. None of them die. None of them ever have issues. And we already know that their life expectancy is way shorter. They 70 years old. They 50 but look 70. I mean, you already know. So for them to be able to do what they do, and that's the ones you should question. Why are they over there doing what they do? Because that's the prostitution that's going on. And it is not us. The Black women that come over there, they come in there with purpose to make some things happen. So no, that's not the situation. These are mothers. These are women with grown children. These are women that are retired or left one or two of them left their well-paying jobs and just got tired of America and said, I'm going to go to Gambia. They've done DNA tests. They found that their bloodline connects them to the Western Africa, like most of us, and they wanted to go back.
And interesting. I digress just for a second, just a little bit, as with regards to the perspective of, it's almost saying like they deserve it if their behavior wasn't acceptable, and that's not good. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's interesting to me. We did a segment on how these Santa Clauses, they come to the continent, right? And they get these young girls, right?
And men.
And men, and
the Gambia is the men. They go after the men,
right? So, and we talked about that because it was suspect, because we understand, we know that they are coming with a motive. I'm gonna just put it like that. But on the flip side of it, the women, it's a come up financially. But when we talked about it, we got some flack for it.
Leave them alone. They're making.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. So that again, it goes to my question: is how do you value Black life, right? How are we valuing Black life? Are we value? Do Black lives matter in Africa? Do Black lives matter in the Gambia? Are we dealing with that here? You understand? so it kind of it goes to prove the point, how, the way that we might be regarded, and not so in the light that we deserve and that the way we should be. So you have these lives of these women who, they're gone. They're gone. And like my wife was saying, they had a mission. They had a mission. And so we have to, we can't just say that's just another life lost.
Mm-mm.
We can't, because it's for one, it's happening too frequently in the same place.
And the thing is, these are single women.
Single women.
These are single women. These are single solo travelers. One did come with their husband. The last one, I think, I wrote my little notes. But let's talk about what happened so they can understand first.
Shout out to Black in Africa, FOI to I die.
Oh, gosh.
Likewise, salute, soldier.
So anyway, the first three, I think it was, I can't even read my own handwriting. That's why I'm looking on your paper, but you don't even have it up.
It's the official paper.
Andrea Davis, Veronica Hillstead. Well, this one is the one that we need to.
Thank you, Yahweh, for your subscription. We appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Go ahead, sweetie.
Latricia and what's your note so you can have the whole name?
Oh, so you want the names?
Yes.
Oh, I got the names. All right. So here are the names. 6 beautiful, lovely women. May Allah God be pleased with them in the life that they served and lived. We want to acknowledge that, right? So you have, and this is not in any particular order, Andrea Martin, who was also known as Anja Africa.
She passed on February the 9th.
Then you have Veronica Histed. All right. You have Beverly Allen. I think she was Dr. Beverly Allen, if I'm not mistaken. I could be incorrect, but nonetheless, Beverly Allen. We have Audrey Davis. And the most recent, she's from the UK. She's the only one I know that's from the UK, is Shakina
Chinadu.
Mm-hmm. Shakina Chinadu. All right. So these names, before you lay your head down at night, when you make your prayer to the Almighty, include them and their family in your prayer and your supplication to bring justice and to bring comfort and to bring the light of understanding of what is happening and what is going on.
So before we get into what happened to them, I was speaking with a friend over there and asking pretty much how she felt, if she felt safe. Do you believe that it's Gambians attacking the diaspora? Because some of the YouTubers, if you go out there and you watch these clips that's showing, it seems more like, I did see 7 women in the Gambia, but the 7th name, I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, I can't find the 7th name. See, I have 7 crossed off because nobody dropped that 7th name.
That's even more alarming. It's like, who?
So, but I'm speaking with the individual and I'm like, well, is there a community over there? And they're like telling us it's a lot of expats there, but there's no unity. There's no community. You can't really say that they build together and bond together. Everyone is for themselves and by themselves. And that's one of the things that we constantly talk about here on this channel, because we experienced that if it wasn't that the expats were separated, it was more so the competition or cliques. And so you don't have that security. You think, okay, I'll come over here and I'll just reach out to the embassy. And that's kind of laughable because the embassy is there for legal matters only. If something happened to you, or if there's something that goes on in the country and they need to get information out, they have that, they know you're there, so they can get information out to you. If America calls back all their passports, they can reach out, but there's not no unity where you can say, let me call sister such and such down the street and let her know that I feel like somebody's been in my yard. So we do have those clips, right?
No.
The clips I sent you, next, if we could show.
Listen.
There are.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Because there's many. It's out here. It's many.
God.
It's many. You have coverage. Our brother O'Shea, he covered it. Kuganda. You have
So,
raising the vibe. Hold on, raising the vibes. You can go on there on YouTube and you can look the coverage of it. You can look at these different places, and most of them are pretty much sharing, which is why I did not place it here. They're sharing the same circulation of individuals
we didn't need.
who are actually the ones who are deceased, okay, and they're giving their take on it. But I would just put in your search engine, go ahead and put Gambia, women killed, whatever you need to do, put that in there so you can look at it. Oh, brother O'Shea, respect, brother. Salute to you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. I got a call coming into you, brother. We just got transitioned, so now I can really reach out. We can build. All right. Thank you so much.
So real quick, Kenaya Israel says she's moving to Mombasa in April, a single woman with her adult son. We've already got relationships established over here. So there's expats over there. If you come through the relocation services, we'll make sure that we get you plugged into those individuals that's over there and make sure that you have, you can be in the community. And you don't have to necessarily come through our relocation services, but just hit us up and let us know for sure. And we'll make sure you get to meet those people. And some of them will be on here tonight, I'm sure. Just connect. They'll say, I'm in Mombasa, I'm in Kenya. Just connect with them. But Kenya is safe. But let me stop jumping the gun. So in this video with Veronica Helsted, she is maybe, was it 2 months ago, actually talking about how she was asleep in her house. But she thought she was having a vision of a man near her gate. And this person came into her house, broke in, and robbed her. And when she woke up, she realized it wasn't a vision. She was actually seeing this. But some of the locals had told her that, a lot of the Gambians there, they do voodoo, and they do this chant that keeps you hypnotized almost or in a deep sleep. So she was happy that she didn't wake up, because you know us. Now you would have seen the big mouth Black Americans, what happens when you doing some crazy stuff like that. I'm sure she would have handled her own, but she didn't wake up, which was probably a mercy from God for her, because the man took a lot of stuff. And when the law did come, or whoever came, told her this person was a professional. The way he got through her security on the windows and the way they broke in, he was a professional, and he knew that she was asleep, and he knew how to do whatever he did to not wake her up. But what stood out for me was towards the end of the video, she says, no, I don't have no dogs. She talks about how her security gate is slow, so it's easy for someone to hop in. So no, I don't have no security guard. So he could be planning and plotting and coming into my house when I'm not here type of stuff. And no, I didn't call the police, because most likely they're in on it. So it was hard to hear that, because people, you are a foreigner in Africa. Regardless of where your blood shows, your DNA shows, you're a foreigner. And they always going to look at us like that. We know that now. We've been talking about it over and over and over and over again. But for you to live in the rural area and not take precautions, and you're a single woman, and you out there shaking things up and making moves, because this sister in particular, she was into trying to teach hygiene in the hospitals and restaurants, teaching sort of like serve safe. When you come to Africa, you see some stuff that a lot of people eat street food, and I'm like, because I'm in that field, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't see enough hand washing. I see flies flying around, blah, blah, blah. So she was there trying to teach them. But the things that we're learning about Africa is they don't always want to be taught. They don't want you to try to say that their way isn't the correct way, or that their way is going to make people sick, when they've been doing it this way for centuries.
I gotta address a few things here.
So the sister had no safety precautions around her. And that's one thing that we talk about on this channel, especially as solo women. I think Andre brought that up last week when he said he don't recommend solo women coming to the continent.
Single women.
Single women. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Just use your brain. No, I don't mean to say that she didn't. Oh my gosh, please, people don't get offended. I'm saying as far as right now, as far as security is concerned, you have to get in a network. And we have to create that network for us.
But see, but I think so. The thing is that, not speaking for anyone, but my assumption is that, and I speak for us. So we're in a state of emergency situation when we live in America. I'll put it like that in many instances, based on what we're confronted with and what we're up against. Not to go deep into that. Nonetheless, so we're thinking survival. Let's get up out of here. Let's go to a place, presumably that is a place where I don't have to be concerned or worried about that. You understand? And so the thought process is not that I'm going to be in harm's way, which is unfortunate because unfortunately, humans are humans, regardless, in undeveloped states. And so to her and the others' benefit, I would like to think that their thought was like, I'm leaving a place and going to a place where I can be at peace, where I can be, where I won't have to worry about these particular things that I worry about living in the States or even in the UK for that matter, right? So we're learning that no, that's not the case. So a few things I want to hit real quick because there's some good comments here. One, I know O'Shea didn't mean no harm in what he said about, just this as far as women just taking precaution. He's saying take precaution. Don't really come here by yourself unless you got a network to jump into. So I don't think he was throwing the women under the bus. That's not my brother. I know he won't do that, right? And secondly, there's a petition, you see it up here, that is new to us. So this is Kiki Loves Nigeria. For anyone that want to go on the YouTube channel to check it out, we're going to check it out and let's see what it's about.
That's the one I started watching her first. So
Okay.
she's really, really, because she goes back and forth to the Gambia. She's a new YouTuber, so it would be good. You guys go ahead and join her channel. But she goes back and forth to the Gambia. She knew some of these women. And so she also knew that.
Go ahead. No, it died, but go ahead. Sorry, family.
She also knew that these situations, underlying health conditions. I heard someone said, and that keeps being tossed around. If it was one person, yeah, I could see that. But the first three women, that's what they want to try to say. Mind you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the love offering. Everything's coming so
O'Shea.
quickly. Yeah, O'Shea, we love you, brother.
Man, thank you so much. I guess he figured, he's got stuff cutting off.
No, it's just the laptop.
Thank you. And
excuse me for a moment.
But if it was underlying health conditions, people, let me explain. Especially these type of women that come, Gambia land is very inexpensive. That's why people go there. You can buy land probably about 3,000 to 5,000 for a big plot of land, and you own it outright. And so back a couple years ago, there was a situation where the locals were mad that the diaspora was coming over there buying up all the land. So there was a little situation going on back and forth with that. But there's never a situation when these Chinese people come and buy up all the land because they're putting money into the highways and they're building this and they're building that. Never a situation when a Chinese man or the Germans come over and they do it. But we come over, we're buying a little piece of land to, one, grow our own foods. Everybody that come over there and buy land, that's their main point. I want to grow my own food. I want to have some land to pass down to our children and to grow our own foods. These women were health conscious. They were over there with growing their own doggone foods. Even the Bag family, they got farms. This is what they do. Nobody comes to Africa to not grow their own food if they're buying land. That's their main reason. And they know how to take care of themselves. When we come over here, if we have health issues, we know how to handle it. We come in with our stuff. We know what kind of medicine we need. If they're into herbs, they know what kind of herbs they need. So the underlying health conditions, I think they found one person that might have was diabetic or something. And no, asthma. They try to use that as a reason. My God. Okay, those three. But the last three, there's no way you can put that on there. So the sister already felt like they were trying to get her. The other sister, she went to a restaurant, Anja Africa, and they have the whole videos up there. Went to a restaurant and was ordering food. Now, again, I got them all kind of mixed up. Anja Africa is the one that's been trying to teach how to be hygienic, how to do, let's just say, serve safe in the restaurants and the hotels and so forth. She used to work in one of the clinics or the hospital there. She quit because no matter what she was teaching them, they would go and do the opposite. And she was seeing germs just being passed around, passed around, passed around. And of course, they didn't like her teaching them that. They didn't like her teaching them that that way just might not be the best way. Even with us, we know that modern technology happens. It's evolution. It's over and over and over and over again. So to not want to learn how to be more effective and how to help your people better is mind blowing. But that's something that we kind of deal with over here. I haven't dealt with it here in Kenya, but we definitely dealt with it in Rwanda, trying to have a restaurant and teaching them serve safe, teaching them how to store food properly, how to keep food with ice on it, and have whole classes and could walk out and come back in 2 hours and they went right back to the way that they used to. It's mind blowing. So the sister had went through that and trying to teach, safe foods and so forth. And she felt like after all of that, that someone was trying to poison her, that the people were trying to poison her. She had went to a store, to a restaurant, ordered some food, Gambian food, and seen someone hand someone some seasoning and said, "This is the curry for her food," even though that's not what she asked for. Someone else that was in there told her, "Gambians don't use curry." She heard what he said and she was just looking like, okay. And she got the food, took it home, but she didn't eat it because what the man said kept, festering in her spirit. And she's saying this on the channel, on her own YouTube channel, so you can go look it up. Because I'm researched so many people, I'm getting it all mixed up. And when she went home, I think
Sorry, family.
she didn't eat the food. She came back the next day and she said, this food is bad or something, and gave it to him. And the guy looked like he was upset that she didn't eat it and was like, well, just throw it away. And she's like, why didn't he ask what was wrong with it or anything like that? This is the woman that has passed away February the 9th of food poisoning, after already calling it out that they were trying to poison her. So there's no underlying condition right there. And if you look at her, she's a holistic healer type of person. She's a meditator. She's a peaceful energy. This has nothing to do with no underlying condition. And I don't even know her like that. But some of the people that we've talked to over there, they know her. And they saying it's unbelievable. It's mind blowing. See, Black Acres of Gambia, she said she's not ready to speak yet. So the last sister, Shakina Chinadu, and this is recent as of days. This sister here is, she's loved. The research that I did today and watched some of her family members and all these incidents, the families were they're looking for the sister. Like, where are they? They're calling her phones. They usually talk to her often. She's not answering. As of maybe a few days ago, she's 60 years old, by the way. She's from the UK.
Yes.
She was 60 years old. She's from the UK. She was over the Repat Association, which was unique to hear because there's an association of expats or repatriates, but there's no unity in the repatriation. There's no unity with the expats. Your sister was missing. And we're just calling, no one goes and checks on her. She's an elder. 60 years old for most of us is an elder. No one goes to check on her, and they found her. They call it, but a lot of people call it in a well. They found a sister. They found her car locked in this area where she brought land at, and I guess they saying she went to check on her land there. They don't know. They can't find her phone. They don't know if someone called her to come meet them there or something. But her car was locked, and they found her. Her head, one side of her face was bashed in, and she was thrown in a well or some kind of water. They call it something else, a water hole or something like that, but she was found. She was found there. I'm just trying to get through the women, then we can read through the comments.
Too far gone. They coming.
So she was found dead in the well. And at that time, for me, I was thinking, so now I'm finding on the Gambian media that they reported that because it's an ongoing investigation. But still, there's no media in the UK or here or Al Jazeera that's talking about this. So we wanted to get through that, so now we can talk about this.
Sure, I've seen a lot of comments. I'm just Sister Ebony Repat seems to have some good. I don't know if you addressed it or if you saw it as I was trying to get this technical stuff.
You said Ebony?
Ebony Repat saying that for Shakina, our sister Shakina, it appears that there's been a suspect who has been arrested.
Oh, as of today, then?
Yeah, I don't know, but has been arrested and is being cooperative. Okay, in the private investigation, as you can see on the screen here, private investigator will be hired, but the suspect is cooperating. So that's good. That's really good. It really is. However, in addition to that, the lives of the others need to be taken into consideration as well in the causing of their death. And then again, that petition that's going out for the autopsies of these particular women is essential. It's very, very essential. I know it's one of those things where it's like, why get involved?
It's about us. What do they mean? Why get involved?
No, I'm not saying anyone has necessarily said that.
Okay.
But I know that there could be that thought process. Why get involved? Why take it on in the manner in which it's being taken? And there's much to unpack with that. We came not looking for this at all. We came with a whole different. When I say we, I mean those of us who are here looking for something better. And when I began to look into it, and as it was presented to me, and mind you, it was presented to me by a good brother, our brother Colin. And I'm gonna tell you something. Brother Colin, listen, yo, he's
on fire.
He's on fire. He's really passionate about. He's angered, but he's hurt, man. He's hurt. Like he's deep. It's like deep, real deep.
I'm glad to hear that because we gotta be deep about each other like that. We
do. And we've been communicating ever since, and he's telling me each time we communicate, he said, "Listen, I'm not letting it go." He's not letting up at all. He's not. I said, "I'm with you, brother. Let's do what we can do." Right. So he's doing some things. So I won't go into all of that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
But anyway, I'm gonna just my saying that is to say that I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, but just to know that this is I think it's of a serious nature.
Yeah.
I really think, if for nothing else, even if there was no foul play, Brother Kanganda, I'm telling you, man.
You got to make me speak in tongue, and I don't know how to do that.
I'm kind of embarrassed to even post it, but I want to acknowledge the love offering, brother. I appreciate, man. Listen, brother, we appreciate you, man. This is really a beautiful thing.
But this is an example of the unity in the family. He's in Uganda.
That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to say that regardless of if it's foul play or not, listen, we have to have a sense of community, right? For many of us who have, prior to coming to Africa, or who did the knowledge on Africa, a lot of that came, it was kind of proverbial in the sense that taking a village to raise a child, or the whole village concept, or the whole community concept, that's not foreign to us. But we become estranged to it because we've been taken away from it, right? But this is nothing that is not, this is not in our ancestrally, this is not something that we're foreign to. That there's a community. I'll take a brief example. When my mother-in-law passed away, we refell, if that's such a word, in love with Rwanda because of how they come together in the manner, in the time of death. Like we saw true community. People were coming to our houses, to our house, we didn't even know. And they said it is mandatory in their culture that if anyone in your community pass away, you will be almost like ostracized from the culture if you don't even go by and sit there. Just sit. You ain't got to say nothing. You don't have to, just be there for them. Whatever they need, whatever they want, whatever that you can do to make it easy for them, go and be there. And people were coming from around the Kigali, and they were there.
And hugging you, bringing food, water. We had so much stuff. But in that, and they didn't want you to take care of nothing. They just want you to sit. And they didn't even know you. But that gave us a true sense of belonging and community for the first time. And we were exiting. But imagine as expats, I don't know why I feel so emotional right now, but if we just came about ourselves, if we looked after each other when we hit the continent the way that we were supposed to do in the States, but they destroyed that for us. We never learned that. But here, it's a matter of survival. Y'all, Africa is not hard, but it definitely ain't easy. And you're a foreigner. And depending on where you're going, they love you. They might love you. They might look at you as we family, but they don't understand who you are and where you come from. And when it's time for something to happen, you're not protected under the same laws as them. The first thing is you can go home. You got that blue passport. Only we can protect each other like that. Only we can love each other like that. This is a hard transition. Africa is hard. It ain't like you just moving down the street and around the corner. Every different component about it is different. And it's not that it's hard, that it's just so foreign, but it's hard because you're a grown person trying to change your mindset and readjust to everything that you used to know. That makes it hard. But the Bag family, thank you, I forgot what I was talking about. I don't know if it's the husband or wife that's talking, but they knew all the women. They knew all the women. So I know, and I seen a picture actually of you, and I think it was it might have been with Shakina, a big picture of you, the Bag family, and their organization together. So I know this has to be hard, it has to hit hard, but it has to also be uncomfortable, not knowing, okay, are we being targeted? Is this something that's happening here? Is it a fluke? Is it conspiracy theories? I was talking with my friend this morning, and I want to read to you. She gave us permission to read to you how she's feeling. She's over there right now. Can we go into that?
Meanwhile, while she,
oh, you did put it up?
No,
read it. Okay.
Yeah, read it. So while she's pulling it up, so the brother O'Shea, we would love to have you, brother. We'd love to have you on the live. We ain't on your level, but we'd love to have you on the live as it was per request.
That's our friend. There's no level in friendship. That's our brother.
No, I know that. I'm just saying as far as, you know.
And so, you know they want to see him.
That's what the Sister Camilla, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Camilla, she said that have brother. I said if they were happy, yeah, we would have you.
But wait, after having Andre last week, oh, Shay would be a breeze.
We'd love to have you on, brother. It would be an honor. Really, it would be. Truly, it would be. So let's make it happen if you're open. Let's
in Bag as well.
Bag as well. You know,
we would love to be able to talk to you guys. We could bring you in and y'all could share when because I know you're going through a healing right now. I can only imagine being there on the community and having relationships with these women, and they just gone, like, and no one's putting any pressure for a thorough investigation. The US is showing no interest. The UK is showing no interest. So I know this has to be crazy. I don't know. I guess Blacksit's still over there. I haven't heard her say anything.
Which is kind of surprising, man. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak on it. Thanks for the new membership. Thank you so much, Sister Alicia or Alicia. Forgive me if I mispronounce. Thank you for your membership.
Thanks for even thinking that we're
Yeah,
worthy of
yeah,
such a
for sure.
beautiful
Thank
thing.
you, thank you. And there's so many comments I want to be able to get to.
Okay, well, let me read this
No,
because
do
the
it,
comments
do
going
it.
to be even more when I read this.
Yeah,
So this
please.
sister is in the Gambia, anonymously. We're not going to pull her name up. She says, Salam, sis, a dear friend and business colleague was just murdered. I'm still processing. I'm in pain and so angry. It's senseless. There has been an influx of crime of all sorts since Gambia has had an increase in the numbers. And I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of countries feel this way. I don't know it, but this is what she said. An increase in the numbers of Nigerians that come in. I don't feel it's the Gambians targeting us. More so these other nationals, Cameroonians, Nigerians, and etc. that come over here with no plan, family, or job, that take the criminal way because the Gambia is so small, laid back, and simple. No, I definitely do not feel safe. How could I? It's not just the expats. Gambian women are being raped, murdered, and disappearing, but expat YouTubers aren't explaining that part either. Not to mention the break-ins, drugs, and being held up at gunpoint. Expats are too comfortable and there is no unity. That's major. This coming from her in the Gambia. There's no unity. We or they don't look out for each other. And people looking at us, they know that. They know it. I'm not going to even talk about that. Everyone in some competition. We done been through that.
You've been through it.
A lot of people starting to feel targeted from the inside, but I don't deal with said, where she say? But I don't deal with said circles, and that's what has been shared. Definitely not happy that they are sharing. Okay. Our people don't think about safety and safeguarding each other, only want to be seen and to spread whatever negativity that can be shared. The US and the UK needs to hold the government here under stricter standards as far as laws and security for travelers. But of course they won't, because we're just Black and just Black women. And the rest is private, and this is from someone that's there and she lives there. She's invested in the country. She has land and house and she loves the Gambia. Her talked about it to us from a long time about how much she loves, how beautiful the Gambia is, how the weather is beautiful, the beach is beautiful. They love it. But now you gotta feel afraid. And it's not, and I'm kind of happy to hear that it's not necessarily the Gambians that are targeting the expats, that it's everyone else that's coming in and they see, okay, she got money. One of the YouTubers were talking about how it's not just one person, it's a whole setup. It's like an organization. Like one person will tell the restaurant, put the seasoning in that person's food. And when they're gone, I'll give you some of the booty. I'll give you some of what I get from that.
So interestingly enough, on that point, there's so many comments, man. I can't keep up, and I wish that we could.
I know I be talking a lot when I'm passionate. I'm sorry.
So Awande made a good point. I'm trying to find it so I can put it up there, which was as a question. Could it be possible? Listen, there's agents all around. There's agents that has to subscribe to the residential tourists. I know. I know that there are agent provocateurs. I know. I just know. Anyway, so it's not far-fetched that you have strong, independent Black women in Africa, in the Gambia, making moves, being vocal, making money, empowering the people there that could be in opposition to the agenda and efforts of our counterparts, right? And one day mentioned, could it be possible, do you think, I'm paraphrasing, that these are payoffs to murk. I'll put it in the slang term, to murk these of our sisters because of the position that they took and because of how they were given making a positive effect on the community. We don't know. It's very possible. It's very possible. We don't know, but that's why, of course, thorough investigation needs to take place. And if that's above our pay grade, that's something that, that's out of our hands. But we do know that there has to be some form of justice served if in fact there was and is foul play. And so our beloved sister Ebony Repat, thank you so very much for the love offering as well.
The
And
financial blessing, we greatly
but to
appreciate
the
it.
comment, and the point that you made about the position that is taken with regards to single women in harm's way, if it would change, or why is it the perspective that if they were married or with a man that may not have been the case.
But watch this, for that one point, one of the women, her husband had to go back to the States, and within weeks, she was found dead.
So you have to understand that Africa and most countries, I would say all of the countries, I don't know for sure, but it's a patriarchal, it's a masculine society. African men, my brothers here on the channel, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't really, when it comes to leadership, they're not really quick to submit to women. I'll put it like that. That's not the norm in a leadership type of position. Okay. Along with that.
Well, ironically, in Gambia, the woman chief was a woman chief police officer that was on the news.
I could stand corrected, but I'm generally speaking, you know what I'm saying? I know in Kenya, I know in Rwanda, it's the same thing. It's not like, it's a very patriarchal order, if you will. That could be it. Then again, it could be also if you're in a society as such, a cultural society, that the women have to kind of fall back a bit, right? This independent Black woman thing is not global. That's not a global thing. That's in America. And we understand, and maybe even the UK for that matter, maybe even the islands as well. But that's not a global thing. So coming to Africa and you seeing a Black woman who's leading and taking charge and making things happen, just imagine. I'm not saying that this is the case, but just imagine as an African woman who may be desirous of that same energy, that same effort, that same spirit, but because of the cultural structure, that is not smiled upon, it's more frowned upon. Easily, possibility that there could be envy that could take place. That's possible. It's very possible. And I think in the what you call it was mentioned that there is a tinge of envy that circulates around in the communities there in Gambia, according to this particular sister friend. So these are things that can take into consideration. We don't really know. But the dynamics are the dynamics. The dynamics are quite different, coming from one cultural perspective to another. And these things could possibly play into some of these, these things here. So,
but it doesn't make it right.
No, it
It
don't.
just, and again, unfortunately, we're just speculating. But if you look at the women, and once you go and do the research, we want you to go do the research because we don't have the videos. So go do the research, but you'll see that every last one of those women were women that were very confident and comfortable in their skin. These women were women that came about business. And if it is a country, again, it's a developing, now that's a developing country. If it's a developing country, then mindsets are still being developed to see that women can also handle things. Women can also be in leadership. Again, if you have it where men are feeling their ego is bruised because you have a woman police officer, or you have a woman in politics and so forth, or women trying to make changes or trying to tell you that this isn't correct, they might get offended. But does that mean you can take her life? And do we just sit around and allow this to happen because we're in a foreign country? Our whole point and our whole direction here on this channel is to make people understand that one, you do have a choice. Africa is a great choice. There's 54 countries, but can you send the links? Oh, we're gonna put all the links in there?
We will. I'll make sure to put all the links. I will, but just double back, please, double back.
O'Shea, get your brother. I sent them all the links. Can you put it in there? Let's show this. He don't, again,
I put it in there. Don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. Keep it, go ahead. Keep pushing for me.
we're right on time with what I'm just talking about. They don't want, listen, it's hard. It's a hard adjustment for Black men in general, but let alone in a country that's always been ran by the kings of the country, the Black men of the country, and now women are coming from another country trying to show you a different way. I don't know. But for us, we got to realize that if we come over here, don't come over here with the mindset, and a lot of people do. We've talked to many of them that say, I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with no other Americans. I'm coming over here. I've said it.
I've never said
I've
that.
said it. I was like, I don't need to have the friendships. I don't need this and I don't need that. Yeah, you do, Adila. You do. Because we don't have to be besties, but we have to at least acknowledge that we're here, that we got each other's backs, that we can establish a sense of family, because nobody else is going to do it for us if we don't do it. Period. That's why we in so much turmoil in the States. There's no unity. They done that to us. They broke us down like that. And so even just talking about it sounds good, but nobody knows how to pull their resources. Nobody knows how to have true sisterhood or brotherhood. They don't know how to do it. They made sure of it. But when you come over here, you have to have that mindset. Not just jump into an expat community on Facebook, but really, really, really strive to make that happen.
So very interesting comments.
He worked for her. Hold on, we got to see that.
So-
It looks like Bag is talking a little bit.
So very, very interesting. The comments are very interesting. I think, anyway, so there was one in particular. Let me see. Yes, Sister Sandra got voice. Thank you very much for that reminder. Please, if you would, hit the like button. It helps. It really helps. It does. It helps a lot. So please do so if you have not. Hit the like button.
Listen.
Let's see. I'm losing it, man. This is so many.
O'Shea, I'm sending it to your WhatsApp right now. He wants these links.
All right. So another thing that came to my mind, looking through all of this, it's happening, what's going on with our beloved sisters, it made me wonder, because I know xenophobia is a thing. Xenophobia is real. And I'm looking at some of the comments and seeing how it's real. There's a particular reaction. And this is not in all countries and all places, but there's a particular reaction. And I'm beginning to kind of see it a little bit more, having lived here, towards we as Black Americans, right? Although, we're looking to really just unite and become a part of. We know sort of we know we're not African. We're not African. Some will beg to differ, but
I'm African.
Ancestrally, yes. But it doesn't have to do with the color tone, because the beauty of being Black is that we can produce any and all shades of color, even white.
He wants to come on. He wants you to send a StreamYard link.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
I haven't figured that out yet. Hold on.
Text us how to do it.
So yes, we know that xenophobia is real, and it made me wonder if that could be a part as well. And these things here really don't directly have anything to do with, well, it could, but just generally speaking, looking at the broader picture of we as diasporas here, we on the continent, we in Africa, right? And speaking to the necessity, the significance, and the importance of having the sense and the mind of community, if there is a thing of xenophobia directed toward us, it makes it more important for us to really have this network. I'm not talking about, hey, this is my man's over here and we cool and I know. No, I'm talking about a system where if I know you and you know me, right? And it's like, okay, we here for the long haul. If I trust you as my brother and you trust me as your brother, I'm like, okay, brother, look, I got my family here. Listen, if anything happened to me, all right, here's some contacts for my folk back in the States. Okay. Here's a point of contact for my biological family, my spiritual family, and someone of an association that I trust in a friendship manner. That if anything happened, this is who you can contact to let them know, to get word that, okay, he's in distress. We need to rally. We need to do what we need to do. If it's the case that I may pass away or I'm killed or whatever the case may be, then they know, okay, his name is such and such. This is his SSN. This is, his wife, whatever the case may be. This is what I'm talking about. And I know, this is not something that we can do but if I'm just saying, if you know someone that you can have that type of relationship with, that's a network. That's a network that you're establishing. And this is how we have to think. This is survival, right? So I just shudder in my mind, like these sisters who, if they were there by themselves, who notified their people? How are they notified? How are they gonna, how are her wishes or their wishes that if or when they died, their funeral services, how's that going to be handled? They're 9,000 miles away. Who's going to take care of all of that stuff? How are we going to, they wanted to be buried back in the States. Who's going to handle that? Who's going to take all of these things? These are things that we have to really think about. In addition to getting the necessary information as we try to relocate here, we have to know these things. We have to make these things. So we have to build a network.
Okay, just go to invite. So with the building of the network, and it's not, let's just say it's not just for security, because really this is not an issue that most people that you and you hit copy and then you send it to them. This is not, we don't want to put fear in you about coming to Africa. Most of these countries, and a lot of us are choosing underdeveloped countries for some reason. We choose underdeveloped countries because we can get more for our dollar. You can buy your land. And again, a lot of people want to live off the land and not have relationships. They want to just go do their own thing. But when you go into these countries with underdeveloped infrastructure, you have to understand that the minds aren't as developed or just say modernized as what you're used to. The minds, we dealt with that. The country might be developed and the infrastructure might be amazing, but if we still have a lot of, I'm trying to find the politically correct words, not the words that we said before, but they still have old mindsets of when it was before this happened, and they're still doing things the old-fashioned way, but in these modern infrastructures, it's going to have a hard time adjusting, and it's going to be very frustrating for you and for the locals. I mean, extremely frustrating. I've seen it. I've seen it. So if you're choosing to come to the continent, a new thing to research. Don't just research where has the best land prices, where you can have dual citizenship, where it's the safest, where they have the best infrastructure. A new thing to add to your list is, do they have a community of Black expats? Not just expats, because you fall into that. You got the Russians, the Germans, the Chinese, you got a whole lot of Mzungos and very few Blacks from just sprinkled in there. They don't have your life. They don't have the situations that you're going through. You want to know, do they have a Black expats in there? And if not, do you plan on starting one? Because you're going to need it. So when we came here to Kenya, There's a Black expat group. Most of them is here in Nairobi, but there wasn't none from Mombasa. Immediately, because we understand the time and what must be done about it, we started establishing a network. And there's a small network there right now, but it's going to keep growing. It's going to keep growing. Even with the relocation services, people, they want to go to Mombasa. I'm like, great. Part of that networking is once we get you there and we get the housing and apartments that you need, we want to also introduce you to the other expats that's in our circle that we know there, because they look out for you. They're gonna give you the ins and outs and tell you what to do and not to do and all the crazy stories and stuff that you need to know. But because it is a small community, it's easy. Call, y'all see how Andre is. Call Andre. He gonna come. He gonna come. He about his people. He gonna make sure you straight. And he is such a people person. He already got a lot of locals as his homies, so he knows all the ins and outs. You want to look for people like that because those are going to be the ones that carries you. Those are going to be the ones that make sure you straight. The ones you say, I'm not dealing with them, some stay away from them. That's the one that's going to make sure your family eats, your family straight. What doctors to go to, what hospital, don't mess with this one and go to that one, and how to get, you need to know how to navigate in these African streets. Because it's different. It's real different.
So this is the Kanaya Israel, beautiful. Please, I hope individuals are writing this down. You know, she set up a healthcare directive and burial arrangements already, right? So that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. All right, I'm trying to do this. I don't know if I did it right, Brother O'Shea. I tried to send it to you, but I don't think I did it correctly.
Because I think that's a norm. Maybe you had to do it on the phone so you could send it to the WhatsApp.
It might be.
Check it. Well, how did you do it?
I did it in a private.
Oh, okay. Check the private message, O'Shea.
Let me see. Oh Lord, what did I do?
Where it say private chat?
Oh yeah, I sent it. All right, I don't know.
But
listen, this is what we're gonna do. Listen, we're just gonna have him on live. We're not gonna.
Because you sent the private chat, but he's not in the chat.
I sent it to him, a private chat direct. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
we got a new member.
Oh, okay. How can we take the private message when I'm not there?
That's what I just said.
No, but a private chat is to be able to.
Can you send it to me?
Man, Brother O'Shea, I don't know how to do this thing, brother. I'm sorry. I really don't. I'm not. I told you early on, we ain't on the same level. You got some steps ahead of me, brother.
Okay, he said just put it in this chat, doggone it. Ain't nobody gonna jump on. We know who to let in. Just copy it right there.
Oh, put it in the regular.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah, we gotta bring O'Shea on. Imagine O'Shea and Andre. O'Shea, are you coming next month to the event? You have to. You have to. You have to come next month because this is exactly what we need. We need a network, and we just call it an East African network, but we need a network of expats that's about expats.
There you go. All right.
Don't call us special ed, y'all. We YouTube special eders. Brother-in-law, you looking real grandpa with it. Thank you.
It's all good.
So what eventually happened?
I'm gonna send a pigeon out with the. Send a pigeon.
There he is.
All right. Let's see now. Hold on. Let's see if we can get it together. Let's see.
We gotta introduce him.
No, everybody
know.
There you know.
Look, he ready. He in studio mode. He got the microphone. All right, y'all. Introducing Mr. Kinganda himself. That's the studio name. O'Shea Duke Jackson. I like your name.
Can you hear Brother O'Shea?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Then we have to take this off when we have a guest.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Am I sounding pretty decent? Wait, now I can't hear you anymore. Did you mute yourself?
Of course, you got the high-tech mic. You know, you sound loud and clear, very crisp. So it's all good.
Thank you so much for having me on the stream. This is so fun to see you guys again. Had a good time. As you saw me getting drunk in Nairobi, So, I'm just glad to be here. I just want to say a few things because there was a young lady there in the chat that felt like I was victim blaming. And the situation is this, depending on what country that, these people are picking, Kenya is better. South Africa, depending on Kenya is probably the best one to choose, in my honest opinion. Uganda's a little bit good, is getting there. But when you pick, and this is no shade at the Gambia or some of these other countries that might not have the infrastructure, and you're looking at, well, I can buy land there, I can do these things there, and you're coming alone in a country where it's very Muslim, and it's maybe not as open as Kenya, where it's a diversity of thought. You can face a lot of problems if you've lived 30, 40, 50 years of your life in America, and you're coming to an African country with the mentality, and I'm not trying to say the mentality is wrong, but you're coming to a place where people do not think like you or me. It makes all of us foreign. And that's something that we need to respect and understand. A lot of the things that you're going to see, it's not going to seem normal. You might feel like you want to be big brother or big sister and try to mitigate that. And you're going to quickly find out that that's not your job. And but through hell or high water, you can try to be, go ahead and be the help that ain't nobody asking you for. And that can get you targeted, and it can get you hurt. So it's something that, I'm not trying to be mean towards women or anybody, but as a brother that deals in an expat community, I see women that go broke here in Africa. I see women getting beat by their boyfriends in Africa. I see older women getting with younger men, and all kind of hell break loose. So who do they call when these things happen? They call me. They ain't gonna call you in the comments that ain't never been here. They call me. So that's the only thing that I wanted to say. Is out of love for our people, out of love for our group. And nobody's hating on you or thinking that, are you hating on women? Okay, well, when you find out you come here and you don't have no support and your family don't know where you at, then they're gonna be calling us trying to figure out where you at. So that's just what I wanted to say. And people got to choose the right country, not based on money, but based on what gives you the best value overall. Again, Kenya is probably the best one. So these other countries out there that I don't really know about, you just got to tread lightly and use your mind. And, you're not in America. People don't need your help like you think they do. If you want to start helping, help an industry. Don't help people, help an industry. That's what we do. We help an industry. So
I think that's wise words right there, bro.
Thank you for that, brother. Thank you very much. I mean, definitely for those who have been on the continent, been in these countries, a lot longer, we definitely sit back and we get our pen and pad out, you understand, because we're learning as well. And that's good. That's great, brother. That's really good. Because you're seeing it firsthand. It's not hearsay. It's not, what you read. This is something that you have experienced and you are experiencing. So a word to the wise is sufficient, and we take heed, brother. We really do. Thank you.
And you're in Uganda, which is, I'm sure, another hard country. Do you see or hear any of these type of situations that happen that just doesn't get reported? Missing women being murdered, or men, the diaspora in general. Have you experienced any of that?
No, I came across a sister who her father died here about 3 weeks ago, but I think that he was elderly and was already, about to pass away anyway. So Uganda, I haven't heard those things, but it's not like it can't happen. Again, I try to live somewhat of a disciplined life, and most of the Americans that live here, I try to tell people, we're not here to have a patriarchal overtone towards locals. And I heard you talking about some of the sisters that had something about a hygiene clinic or things like that. And again, the hygiene thing, I think for a lot of people, if you come to Africa, I'm not going to say it's hygienic. I would say things do smell different. The food, you talked about flies around everywhere, right? So yes, you will see that. Whether you want to come in and try to change somebody's way of life, that's not your business. And you need to stay out of that. You need to be focused on what you're here to do, what you can control. There's a lot of things you can't control, which is going to be okay. But the things you can control, work on that. Work on that. That's what I had to learn the hard way. Work on what you can do every day. The diaspora community, there's going to be plenty of fights anyway, because there's those situations that happen. Diasporans, they get into it and they have issues. So it's enough here to keep you busy, other than you giving your opinions on how somebody smell or how somebody looks or how silly you think somebody is. And obviously we will have those conversations, whatever that happens in any country. But I just think that the women that are coming here, it's hard for a single lady. It's hard for single women in America. I read an article that African-American women are 6 times more likely to be killed in America than white women. That's in America. When you come here, you don't have maybe a lot of financial support. I made a video about single moms here in Africa. They killed me in the comments. Thought I was being a hater. You got your kids out here. Everybody not going to be, you coming to Africa thinking that it's all, a utopia. And maybe that's what your mind wants it to be, but that's not really what it is. So you can get scammed by locals, and you can damn sure get scammed by African-Americans in Africa. That happens too. So people don't want to talk about it. So, you really got to be careful. This is more of a man's environment. I don't know if ladies want to hear that, but it is. Africa's ruled by men. Strong men. Okay? So I'm going to just put that out there so that you know. This is a man's world here. This is not the place where people want to hear what you got to say as a woman for the most part, especially if you're a foreign lady. This is not where where it rocks. So you can take that as me saying, well, is that why people are getting killed? I don't think that's why people are getting killed, but I do think that can play a part why people could be a little bit upset with you, because people are not going to ever look at what they do wrong here. They're going to look at the fact you offended them. There's a lot of unaccountability here in the Black world. So people are not going to look at it like that. They're not going to look at, what you're used to. You are here in their turf. So I'm saying this out of love. If you're going to come here and you're going to be a single lady, there's only certain countries I would recommend you go. Kenya is probably the only one I would say you should go. I wouldn't say you should go anywhere else that I don't know about. Because, a lot of the things that you try to tell people, I was watching the Angie Africa, and she told her brother that he was a demon. And she told him how she felt about him, that he was messing with kids, and she seen him in his dreams. And that's something you can tell a man in America. Look, you a demon. I don't want nothing to do with you. You broke, you dusty. But when you in somebody else's country, you good luck. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Is people not gonna take kindly to that. I'm a man. This is a story I didn't tell nobody. 3 weeks ago, I'm walking down the street, and you know me, I'm a bigger guy. I'm not no small man. So I'm about 230 pounds. I'm walking down the street the other night, like 3 weeks ago. I have my phone. I'm on the phone. There was a motorcycle driver. We call it boda boda. Same thing in Uganda and Kenya. The guy almost broke my finger trying to snatch my phone. He's by himself. Now, luckily, I was strong enough where he couldn't get the phone, but he almost broke my finger trying to get it. So this is me, a good, strong man. I'm not no weak man at all. I can feel for myself, but that don't mean that if he had a friend, what if they had a knife? And it's only 10 o'clock at night. That's safe in some places. In Rwanda, that's very safe. So what about if you're a lady on that road? What they gonna do with you? Who gonna come help you? So people got to think about things like that.
Man, that's good stuff, brother. That's the truth is sometimes hard to accept and take, man, but it is what it is, and I attempted to share similar what you said about the society, the cultural society of Africa. It's a man thing, like you said. That's their structure. And it is what it is. And I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon, or if at all. And that's not a bad thing either. The man is supposed to leave. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But your perspective, man, and your experience with it is right on point.
But
It's very
can I say this
enlightening.
before I forget, brother? Here's what I'm seeing also, brother. I don't know about in Kenya, but in West Africa, I see a lot of ladies, 40 or 50, are above. They come to Gambia or they come into these countries, and not to be a bearer of bad news, but if you want you a rich African guy, like Brother Dinah said, I've been telling since a long time ago, these guys are gone. Okay. Nobody is, and I'm not trying to say that they can't happen. You might be a very beautiful lady, a lot to offer. You're competing with a lot of beautiful young women in Africa, and that they speak the language of the same person, in the same culture, the same person. You would automatically be at a very big disadvantage if you think that you're going to come here from America, and this, some guy is going to bypass the ladies in his community and choose you that is very wealthy. It can happen. It is highly unlikely. So that's something you should understand, because again, this is something where, there's a lot of women in Africa, a lot of single women in Africa, and a lot of good looking women in Africa. So what happens is ladies come over here, and again, in America, well, the brothers ain't this, or the brothers may not be that in America. Let me give me a strong black man in Africa. You might be lucky, but I see a lot of older ladies dealing with young African men. So now you have an older lady, and you know how sisters can be. I'm not saying all the time, but can be. Most women, black women from America, from African American community, are not going to be too excited about taking care of no black man. Okay? I don't care what he doing in the bedroom, excuse my language. He could be hollering for Jesus, whoever else, disciples, apostles, all of that. Once that is done, we're going to be like, we got to talk frank, brother. I know I'm not trying to be, I know y'all in the nation, but if we was over there back at in Westlands, I'd be more graphic, because you met me before. I talk straight. I don't beat around the bush. This young dude is making you scream for Jesus and all of the saints in the Bible and all of the Old Testament prophets. Now, once he get done with that, he's back broke again. Now you feel like you're gonna be able to talk to him any kind of way, and that's what happens. You see almost every lady that gets an issue in domestic violence in these African countries dealing with a younger man who is broke. Okay, so what you think you're gonna just talk to a guy like that, like crazy in his own country? They're not going to look at it like, well, you have more money than me, so that's how black men in America, we understand it. Sister's doing a little bit better than us. She got something to say. We come from that. We come from that environment, where we have women in our community that are leaders. Some of us go to churches where women are pastors, women are deaconesses. Y'all know y'all in the nation, but you understand the black community. We know we are mostly a Christian community. We have women in our community that teach us, and a lot of black men, we are okay with that. We don't have no issue with that. That's not how these men are raised here. And so the way that they might deal with it, I'm not saying all of it, it can be up to physical violence. That's why Angie Africa had a video talk about the domestic violence in Africa. Talk about women are getting beat over there, women or whatever. And again, black men in America, we can take that, heavily criticism, I want to put it like that, where the sisters really own you because you ain't got a job, you're not being a man, you're not taking care of me, you broke. That's not nothing worth hitting nobody for. Because that's how my mom talked to my dad. I seen it when I was coming up. But that's not how a brother here gonna take it. And you need to understand that, because like the Bible say, women submit to your husband. Didn't say how much money he made. The scripture didn't say that. The scripture said, man, submit to your husband. It didn't say a dollar amount. That's how these guys feel here. So when you come with that attitude, like, well, I got all the money, I got the resources, and quite naturally, a woman's going to feel like that. Then when you go to the police ain't going to help you. You go say the man hit me, he's going to tell you, go back to the guy. Go back. You go work it out with your husband. That's your husband. So a lot of the sisters, they don't understand that. And when they come here, they think Africa is easy. Please tell them that it's not easy. Maybe they want to hear from you. They think it's easy.
We already told them. But one of
That's
the
good, brother.
one
This
of
is good.
one of the comments is talking about how Rwanda is the safest African country. And even though that might be true, um, dealing with the locals, I remember when we came there, one of our Rwandan friends, her husband was beating her every day. She didn't even know that there was such a thing as divorce and that you can actually divorce your husband for abuse. We told her, we encouraged her to listen, leave that dude, leave him, and had a divorce party for her. Had
Mm.
we not have ever met her, she would still be there getting her head busted in because she never heard of this. And I know, so a lot of men in these countries, they don't want us coming over there, changing mindsets. They don't want to hear that. This Western mindset is what they call it. They don't want you over here telling the women that you don't have to get beat, that you don't have to take this kind of treatment, that you have rights, that you can do this and that. Yeah, you're right. They don't want us over there saying that type of stuff. They want you to mind your business. But we know who we are and we know what comes with us. So I believe you have to choose wisely when you're choosing these countries.
Let me talk about that. I'm gonna hold your live up, but like I said, I have people that work in Kangana. My manager's a GM. Jonita was my GM. She's been here for a while, and I do my best to make sure that those ladies in our business are very protected as much as we can possibly do so. And I try to educate them. And what you're doing out this late, you need to be, because if they would grab my phone at 10 in the night, what you doing out at 12 or 1 or whatever, I do my best. But to be honest, as a group here, I've learned the best thing for me, and I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to disencourage anybody, but I've been a lot more focused on, like you said, staying out of people's stuff in general. And I've learned that when you try to tell people things, because I've been here for 6 years, 7 years. First of all, they don't listen. That's what I found out. In the local community or in the diaspora community, and people can start hating you for you telling people the truth. So you gotta look at the risk, and people start disliking you for what you say or trying to be helpful. So again, what I've tried to be focused on is for all Americans coming here, unless you're retired, you really need to be worried about being industry specific in your goal here. You want to change something, you want to help people, change the industry you're working in. Help the industry grow. Add value to the professional systems that you're trying to change. That's the most easiest thing you can do. Then all the other things, once you've proven that you're good at that, and you have the support and what you need to do, other things you can change. And as other Americans or other blacks, it can even be Ugandan Americans or whatever, then Africa will change if what we're doing is good. But a lot of the criticizing of what people do, what they smell like, what their habits are, if you just don't like it, just stay away from those particular individuals. That's why they have different places of towns and things like that. And I think a lot of times we focus on things that we cannot change in these countries. We are focused on somebody scam me, which I talk about that too. We focused on the things that don't matter, instead of trying to gain some power for ourselves as a spending group and what we can do to make things better for ourselves. That's how you win. You win with your money anywhere. So we lost focus on that in the States. That's why we have the issues we have in America, because we don't spend no money doing anything, and we're not developing as much as we need to, because we feel like the white man owe us something. And I must say, a lot of Negroes come to Africa think that the Africans owe them something. And so with that mentality, plus the I know more than you're not growing in that way. Black people coming from the West enjoy the continent, but listen, we are different. We need to understand that we are different in many ways, very different in many ways, very much the same. So yeah. So when we understand that, it makes it easier to work with people that want to work with us. Let it be really industry specific. And once you start building industry specific stuff, the people that need to be around you will come. Now, let's say, for example, if you're a person that don't wear deodorant and you work for us, immediately if I keep seeing it, I tell the person, listen, you got to put deodorant on, because if I have like residential tourists come to Uganda, well, they're gonna say, well, damn, O'Shea ain't taking care of his people. They ain't wearing deodorant, right? Like he ain't giving enough money to wear deodorant. That room could be all over Black America. So now I got to make sure, listen, brother, you work for the company, make sure you wear deodorant. And I had that conversation with one dude, man, wherever deodorant was, he was running from it. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he wear it now. Now, if I go out to, the city center and they don't wear deodorant, well, damn, I'm not going to the city. If it smells that bad, okay, one of y'all go to the city center where y'all can deal with it and come back with X, Y, and Z. That's how you handle that. Instead of going around, man, these people stink, man. God damn, man. They're just funky. What? That's silly. Come online talking about it. That's dumb. People are going to hate you for that. Of course. Just like we got people in Black America that sometimes smell bad or don't whatever. If one of these Nigerians or Ugandans, we will be offended. So we also got to use common sense to say what criticisms, if valid, are going to make anything that's built. All criticisms going to be taken harshly when you're a foreigner. Focus on doing what you're supposed to be doing every day. And I don't see a lot of Black Americans do that in Africa. I don't see a lot of brothers and sisters doing a lot of work they're supposed to be doing. Now, I see a lot of brothers and sisters partying. Y'all drinking that Hennessy. Okay. Now, for me, I get a few, not y'all don't drink, but I do. I get a few shots of that good wine, and I'm cool. But some of y'all be out here, you be on your cognac, that Martell. Okay. Then y'all be out here doing all kind of stuff all on Instagram, Snapchat, then you go back home broke and all that stuff. That goes on too. Focus on what you're doing here. People look at the weather, they see all the nice things you can do. Your day is gone. After that, you ain't did no work today. So if we had that mentality, we would be better off versus worrying about what locals are doing, because they already worried about their life. They ain't worried about you. So stop criticizing them and worry about what you're doing.
There we go.
That's good, man. It's really great. Really good stuff, man. This is very helpful, even for us, brothers, especially for us. I think more of this will be good. Someone in the comment, I said that you should write a book. O'Shea's Guide to Coming to Africa, but I think, all in all, what you share is timely, given the subject matter here, giving a perspective, because a lot of those things we said before, you can only do so much research from afar.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can look all of the YouTube channels, you can read all of the books that they have on these different countries and so forth and so on, but there's a lot of things that you're not going to get and to know until you actually begin to live. That's how we got duped. When the Europeans came to the continent, they didn't just come and say, I'm going to take them. They lived among us.
Studied.
And they studied us.
The people.
They studied our strengths and our weaknesses, and they were able to, from that, to be able to do what they did. Of course, that's not what we want to do, but the part about it is that, much to what you're saying, that we have to learn how to live among the people, learn the people in our living, and know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, so we can all get along together. So
they're asking for Brother Colin to come on, but we have him scheduled for next week, right?
Next week. A few people, I've seen a lot of people that want to come up for the lives, and that's a good indicator that this is a good subject matter, and that the energy is good, and everyone is really, engaged. But we have to be, respectful of time, for one. And we have planned to revisit this, and we have our beloved Brother Colin.
And he's working on a project to get about this situation. So we want to give him his time next week.
Absolutely.
But I want to get O'Shea's commitment that he's going to come next month for our expat event on the 24th.
Wasn't y'all supposed to come here?
And it's a cash bar.
Y'all was supposed to come here. We ain't gonna talk about that publicly, but I'll try to see if I can make it, because y'all was supposed to come here. I ain't gonna tell them what I offered y'all to come here, but we talk about that later. But look,
moving.
but,
We're
but
trying
let
to
me
come.
say
We
this.
just had to
we
move.
want to come. We just had to get transition.
Oh,
That's it.
we coming.
No,
Yeah,
I
for
had
I gotta
sure.
see the
I had
waterfalls.
slaughtered a
That's
bunch of
still on the
goats
table.
myself for y'all and everything like that. I was out there, you know what I mean? I had gutted it out. No, I'm just joking. But let me just say one thing too. Before now, because situations are happening like this, you do have to watch out for scammers. And the scammers, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, because here is how people, when you have problems in Africa and you're a person looking to repat, there are 3 steps I want to go over just real quick. Because when things like this happen and you have fear, you're going to have people that are going to be like, yeah, I understand it's fearful, but here's how we can help you. And it's typically people who were born in America, like us, or African diaspora, like new African diaspora, Gambian American, Ugandan American, Nigerian American, either or. Whenever you have a problem in Africa, you're going to always have 3 steps. Somebody going to come to you and they're going to first say, wow, you from America too? Are you from Britain? Wow, that's interesting. I'm also from, they'll name drop a city, California, Sacramento, which is where I'm from. I'm from Chicago. So when problems like this happen, you get a 3-step alignment from scammers. And the first thing they want to do is let you know, I'm also from here, where you're from, or I'm from the diaspora where you're from, things like that, right? So I understand, I kind of know how the Western world works. That's how almost everybody in the diaspora gets scammed. The second thing is they start empathizing with you. I understand the problems that you're scared that, people are, somebody got killed, or I understand that people are getting scammed, or, Africans are slow, or they scamming you. They're not doing this. They're just not doing things the way that we used to it. Right? Third thing is solution. I know somebody, or I am that person that can help you with your concerns. And the concerns almost always lead to your ambitions to get money in an industry or safety and security. Those 2 things, right? That's what we're most concerned with. Our own personal safety and our financial living. Once they take you to those 3 steps, you're now including somebody in your life that don't really have anything to offer you for the most part. But what they're going to try to do is bubble off of you. And I've seen so many people get scammed. When you hear these things, don't be surprised if you see folks in other countries. Don't go to that one. You can come to this one. And because you know what? I'm just like you, or I've been around like you, and I can understand what your issues are. Here's how we solve that. And I've seen people lose a lot of money. I've seen people lose a lot of time. I've seen a lot of people go broke with those 3 steps. If you ever mention that you're looking for business opportunities, that's the first way they get you. Aligning that you from the same place, or you from the same kind of Western world, understanding your issues and offering a solution. Most of those people don't even have a solution for themselves. And so when you get situations like this is when scammers get hot in the diaspora. They can be us, they can be somebody else. And you got to be alert. Because if somebody is really, because people going to start lying, talking about they know this person. That's not how I always get you. You heard it before. I know this person. I know X, Y, and Z. I can take you to the president. My uncle is this person's security intel. And as Americans, we don't know. We be bragging. Brother Muhammad, I just met me somebody. Yeah, he gonna take care of me. He gonna take care of you, all right. That's how I lost $7,000 before. Somebody took care of me. Then lost another $1,700. I got taken care of twice. And then when it happened, the Negro acted like it was my fault. So this is why, if you ever go somewhere, you need to visit wherever you're going first. You need to understand, like, bigger countries. I say Kenya is great. So it's my number one. Uganda is also good. But you need to see how big a place is. What are the economic opportunities? How does the country run? What is the country trying to do? If you have the diaspora community there, that's good too. You need to know how good it's doing, because it ain't just having a diaspora community. How functional is the community? Because you can have Negroes that just got off parole in the diaspora community too, ain't got no job there too. So you got to also know those things before you make a decision. So anyways, big fan. Don't want to be on here all day. I can be preaching like the minister here because, you know, I'm just trying to, but it's all out of love. I dedicated a lot of my time to my King Ghana channel. It don't even make me that much money or anything like that, but I love the channel. I love the community. And we want you to, you know, when you come to the country, to make sure you have the best optimal experience, because it's hard. I work every day. I just like my 400-day working straight in Uganda or Kenya. I'm in both places. So any last questions? I ain't trying to hold you up. I got broke, man. So now I can't pay my bills. I can give y'all my money in the super chat.
Oh, brother, listen, you've been a blessing, brother, being on this. Even if you were just in behind the scenes, it's a blessing to have you, to see you pop up on this on the comments, man. But thank you so very much for those nuggets, man. Really, brother. I know everyone who's listening. I'm looking at the comments, but even those that are not commenting, I know what you've shared in just this brief moment has been tremendous, brother. That's really, really true. I had my pen and my pad. I was writing notes as you were talking, brother. So
yeah, we like to.
I paid the price, so you ain't gonna pay it, brother. So you know what I mean?
You know, people say to keep it real type of stuff, but we need to have the balance. We need to know that it's not just paradise and fluffy ponytails here on the continent, that there's some real raw issues. And we appreciate you coming on, sharing some realness, you know, not just the fluffy stuff and the beautiful stuff, because it has all of that. It really, really does. But the heavier things is what really matters. That's the stuff that's gonna make you blow your mind, like make you crazy if you don't know how to handle it. Right. So we do appreciate you coming on. I'm hungry and thirsty and tired.
Yeah, so I know
I'm even worse in person, right?
Thank you for the
Like,
time.
when you meet me in person, I'm even worse. You got me muted. Wife ready to go. Well, y'all muted.
Go ahead, finish. I know you wanted to say something else. Go ahead and say what you need to say.
We don't know how to work it where we don't push mute and then you could talk. We still learning.
Yeah, we can talk. I'm even worse in person. Y'all met me in December. I'm worse in person. Like, you know, like you talk about being honest. I'll be every 5 words is a curse word. I actually clean it up because it's, you know, it's King Ghana, but I'll be drunk as I don't know what. I'll be talking. Y'all know they won't tell you, but I'll tell you. I'll be drinking. I'll be talking a lot of trash. Anybody who met me before know I'm the same way in real life. So I don't hold no punches. I make a lot of jokes. I talk a lot of shit all the time. But at the same time, you know, Africa is difficult. It's tough. And, you know, you're in good hands with the residential tourists here. So hopefully we able to get them on the podcast. And I know she's hungry. I got to go because they got to go. Peace.
And just
hold on. All right. It was really good to have brother on there. I learned something. I learned how to do this thing here. So any other time, I know how to do it. I think a little bit anyway.
Yeah, this YouTube world is something different. And what he has taught us, and he's again in Uganda. We met him here in Kenya, spent one day with him or a couple hours with him.
And I'm gonna tell you, before you finish that, to his point, his last point, this is why we really gravitated toward him, because he's real.
Yeah.
He don't put on no airs. It's not what you see is what you see, what you get. He keeps it a buck, as they say. And we love that. I was like, oh, he's a real dude. We like that.
Yeah, and always very supportive of what we're doing and with the whole mission, and loves Africa. He loves Uganda. No matter what they say about Uganda, O'Shea, like, I love this crazy place. It reminds him of home or something. I don't know. I can't wait to see it. We do have plans to go and see the Kinganda studios. My man got a studio, y'all. And be a part of just checking out his journey. But hopefully we're going to grow and I'll be like, come over to our studio.
Inshallah.
we so nomadic. We don't even want to be in one place that long to have a studio, but
we'll see.
Kenya could have it. Kenya could definitely, Nairobi could definitely have it. But
so I want to say, because I don't want to, I know my brother PP Bob I like the fact that he wants to make sure that, we got good content, people who got, credibility and
Oh, they said
some
that person's
substance.
on here.
So time is spent. I would have loved to have Bag as well as our beloved sister, the transitioning queen. I hope I said that right. But please,
Yeah, I hope we
please,
can get back to speak next week. Again, we understand you got to process all this. So we understand grief. We understand shock. So, but please know that the platform is open for you if you want to come in and just share anything.
I didn't put the banner up all evening, surprisingly, but
Oh, I was wondering what. But everyone, again, thank you guys so much for the donations that you guys sent in last week. I like to call them our financial blessings because that's exactly what it is. So we definitely want to thank you guys for that. Please, 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 if you want to send a financial blessing today, we have our Zelle information up there, our Apple Pay up there, PayPal up there, that's the wrong link, and the PayPal and the MPesa. Our local community here, I love looking at the MPesa and I'm like, wow, they see value in us, dude. We be shocked. We be surprised because we just us. We just us. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully next week we'll have a couple more videos up, and we're not gonna just drop this topic. Brother Collins coming on next week. He's actually leading a fight for this cause. So we're definitely gonna have him on next week with some updated news.
So thank you once again. All the best to you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. For those who are in the States, it's morning time. For those here on this side of the
And
world,
we had 300 people at one time
yeah.
today.
I hope you all hit that like button. I saw.
If y'all can hit that like button, man,
Please
please.
hit the like button. We'll greatly appreciate it.
Even if you ain't like what everybody said, but you like us. The like
Something
button,
that you may
man.
have liked. All the best to you, everyone. Thanks, Brother O'Shea, for coming through. And Bag, transitioning table, please, if you would, reach out. We'd love to be able to hear what you all have to say. We'll check your channel. We already know your channel, but in the same space, we'd love to have you. So, all right.
And if you're interested, I know it's a little scary now because we talked about what was going on in the Gambia, but find a country that statistically is safe, like Kenya. So those that want to do a relocation, if you want to just do a consultation, it is a paid consultation. So please don't email me thinking that we're going to have a consultation and it's going to be no cost. It is. It's a paid consultation. That's how we survive here on these African streets. And our relocation services is real. We have customers coming over, clients coming over next month and the month after. We have clients coming over in a couple of them in August that we're doing relocation services for. So it's real. So please, if you're interested in relocating to Kenya, if you're interested in just a consultation period as far as moving to the continent, email us, adilahsrelocationservices@gmail.com, touristresidents@gmail.com. Either one of those two, you can connect and we can get you scheduled in.
Thanks so much. Peace and blessings.